Then one time, my dad drove us to school and then we got to the filling station. And then I saw how the fuel attendants were dressed. Like, I had body. So, like, they were dressed, they tuck in with their boots. I said, I want to be a fuel attendant. It did not end there. Then I saw a policewoman. The same way they are dressed, tucked in, so nice. Because it would have fit me. So I said, I want to become a policewoman. It did not end there. Then I saw a vulcanizer, changing car tire. Eja, I'm the firstborn amongst boys, so I like male-dominated areas. So I said, I'll become a vulcanizer. It did not end there. Then last, I said I'll become a soldier. I saw one training be in this school. I said, never again. Oh, give it up for me too. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lady Kukwa Oredua Grace Amankwa. I'm sorry for not introducing myself from the beginning. And we have gotten to one of the most important aspects of this seminar or of this event. We are here to inspire. We are here to encourage. We are here to redefine, because we realize that in this modern age, lots of things are being redefined. Our sexuality is being redefined. Our career paths are being redefined. Even the definition of success is being redefined. So I'd like you to take your notepads, take your pen, take your tablets, anything you brought to write, because it's time to listen. I really want you to be attentive, because we have called on board women from diverse areas. The theme says what? Celebrating diverse journey of women. Women from diverse walks of life who have experience. They are not just any people coming to speak to us today. And if you are attentive, you will grab something home. All right? So we'll take the video of our first speaker, media team. Oh, give it up for the media team. Oh, keep clapping, keep clapping. Yeah. The sound. Please, let's start from the beginning. If you, as she takes her seat, if she does not sit, don't stop clapping. Don't stop clapping. Until she takes her seat, don't stop clapping. Thank you so much for being here, Lady Rita. Please, you may take her seat.
today's program. So today we are going to be redefining female success, and a warm welcome to our panelists. So when we say redefining success, we say her success, her story. Redefining success. I don't think I can quite hear you. Redefining success. Awesome job. So we zoom straight into the discussions. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
To set the tone, I'd like to ask, maybe we'll start with Mrs. Adesing. What basically is success? When we talk about success, what simply it means to you?
Thank you very much once again. Hello. Hello. Okay. Thank you very much once again for this. Successful. When you are very courageous, I believe it's also success. And when you are purposeful and sow seeds that benefit others,
Hello?
I believe that's success. And being a pastor's wife, I would not go without quoting something from the Bible, especially in Judges, where we find Deborah's success. She didn't get her success mainly because of what she did, but she had a silent someone also behind her. And so people you have behind you, around you, also contribute to your success.
Right.
So that's what I can say.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Andokwenu, let's localize this a bit. So now we know what success is, basically what success is. What then is female success?
Thank you very much. When we say a woman is successful, my personal view is that that woman has clarity of purpose. She knows what she's about in life. And that person is driven by vision, and she has dreams to achieve. And she goes about overcoming the odds and the challenges to achieve those dreams. And then she's able to grow, to develop her potential, and to also become somebody who transforms lives, influence people's life positively by helping others also develop their potential. That is a successful woman.
Great. So developing your potential and walking in your purpose. But we all know that sometimes how we grew up would also determine what we aspire to be. So Lady Rita, maybe you can tell us how maybe parenting or our parents help us to find this vision or to draw our vision board.
Also have a path they want you to lead. And rightly so, as Kukwa jokingly made us see, most often in the Ghanaian context, we tend to look down on certain professions. And so just like Doc said, I have my 6-year-old telling me 2 days ago, Mommy, I want to be a singer. And I'm like, you can do it. You can do it, my darling. So I had parents that encouraged me, They never told me what to do in terms of the career path I wanted. They encouraged me in my path. So wherever I find myself today is because I had the backing of my parents. There are others that do not have that, but have mentees and mentors that are encouraging them and guiding them onto the path that they want to lead. What I want to say is parenting is very important, and yes, they do direct our path, but as we have learned this morning, but like Doctor told us, you need to discover yourself and you need to know what you want. I understand that in negotiations with our parents, it doesn't go well. There are days that some of us are disowned, but you need to stay true to your vision. And I know that our God, I don't know how many of us here are Christian, but I'm a staunch Christian and I'm very proud of my faith. And God has never failed me. He has never failed me yet, and he will never fail me. And everything I dreamed about as a young girl, I believe I have lived it. And I'm still living it. And I'm asking him now, God, what is the next step? And she said something again. I'll reference her a lot because everything she said was my planning for today, in that, yes, our parents are there. Dr. Howard Mills always says something. You need to honor your parents. And so, yes, you honor them in what they want, but you can also still follow your path. So success is not one jacket, like I need to be graduate, I need to get married, I need to be financially sound, I need to follow what mom and dad are saying. You can wear many hats, okay? So if dad wants you to be a doctor, provided you are not afraid of blood, you can follow that step. And then you can also be the caterer on the side until you realize that the energy is no longer there. So for me, I wanted to be a lawyer. But as I was growing up, I'm like, Charlie, I don't want to read plenty. Okay? So, like, you need to know yourself, and you need to know when you're lying to yourself, and you need to know when you go. But our parents' blessings are very important, and even the Bible says so. So you need to learn to find the balance, and that's where the challenge is. So the real question really is not about being a successful woman, but it's about if the world is ready to take on your journey, accept you for who you are, and allow it to count as a success story.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Let's stay on the parenting bit a little, giving our audience. So here's someone who was fully supported by her parents in anything she wanted to do. Now, there are also a lot of young people who are not supported by their parents. So, Mrs. Addison, help us. How do we navigate that kind of conflict as young people?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. With Lady Doctor, her parents supported her with her dreams. I really wanted to be a fashion designer. At that time, we used to call it seamstress. But my parents said, no way, you are not going to do that. And I looked at the uniform of nurses. I said, oh my, I'll be a nurse one day. And that's one too, I wasn't given the nod. And I was the only girl among 7 boys. So my father said I should do the work that he is doing. He was a stenographer secretary. So he forced me to do what he was doing. And well, I obliged and went alongside with it. But deep within me, I wanted to be a nurse. Now, when we got to Australia, my husband was called as a missionary to Australia. And then I went into something called Work Opportunities for Women because I had to find myself something to do. They did the survey and then found my interest to be in either nursing, childcare, or nursing, childcare, or social work. You know, so now what I had wanted to do that my parents did not allow me to do, I did not become bitter against them. Yeah, but now it was unraveling. So it unraveled then. I went into early childhood because I felt that was very simple to do. But Charlie, it wasn't simple. Yeah, so I got that and I was very passionate about it. It got to a point that when people are bringing their children to school, I was put on permanent morning shifts because when parents are bringing their children to school, they say, it's Miss Grace. They get up and say, if Miss Grace is there, if she is there, then the children will come down. If she is not there, the child said no. So I was put on a permanent morning shift because of my passion for these children and what we taught them. And along the line, I came back to Ghana. And, you know, my passion was in the nursing field as well. So I got into something that was also health and nutrition. And I said, no, I loved it. This is what I had wanted to do all along. So I went into training in that. And now I am fulfilling what I had wanted to do long ago. So if your parents say, do this, now, the world in which we are, we voice out a lot. So maybe, but we have to be very careful how we voice out. Yeah, so listen to your parents, but I know that as we pray and as you commit yourself, you will definitely be redirected into what God really wants you to do. And that's what I am experiencing now. And I feel very fulfilled with what I'm doing now.
That's great. But let's also look at another conflicting thing. I don't know for the three of you, but social media is now a big thing. So aside our parents also telling us what we can do or what we ought to do, we see a lot of people on social media making certain jobs look all rosy and flashy, that we become conflicted. Dr. Ndokoinu, I don't know if you've experienced any of these with your students or your children, but how should young people deal with that social media conflict?
Thank you very much, Eunice. I think that from my personal observation, I see that now people want jobs that will give them money quick. So people are looking for digital jobs and jobs that in no time they can become millionaires and billionaires. As a psychologist, I prioritize fulfillment. Jobs that you can get the financial benefits and you still get fulfilled. So I always tell my students that if the digital job can give you money, it's fine. But you can also have many options in careers. So as I sit here, I'm a psychologist, I'm a lecturer, I'm a marketer, I am a
And yes, back to the question. You know, social media is funny. It's a nice place to learn. At the same time, it can mess you up. It can mess up your day. It can make you feel less of yourself. You can brood. You can cry and say, I'm not making it. But it's all a lie. I will never put my off days on social media. With all that I know on social media and all that I've learned. So, yes, it's a place to take inspiration. Yes, it's a place to get motivated. But no success comes like that, okay? And Doc said it. It's quiet. Success is quiet. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't put my back into it. You need to put your back into it. Turn to your neighbor and say, put your back into it.
Put your back into it.
And by putting your back into it is you're here for a purpose. You got to learn. I did sociology, so we are cousins, psycho and social. And for social, we learned the bigger picture. She learned the individual. So sometimes you can get lost in the crowd. So just like she said, I'm very self-aware of myself and I know my capabilities. I love comms to the core. So anything comms, you see me there. Okay. So I developed myself in all the comms area. Digital comms in Ghana, we don't really have teachers. When you go, they'll go and give you history. How comms came about, digital comms came about and all that. I'm sure when you go for all your sessions, you get upset like history of digital comms. It's not that. The proof of the pudding is in the what? Eating. So as you keep practicing it, as you keep developing yourself, and it's also you need to be careful about the digital footprint you're living on there. So you market yourself well, and that's personal branding. At the same time, you don't need to expect it to come. There are sometimes articles you write nobody will like, but I tell you, you're making impact. It's the consistency with what you're doing. It's the resilience with what you're doing. It's the impact with what you're doing. So I am a digital comms manager. I've done publications. I've done protocol. I teach Sunday school with so much joy every Sunday. I have a good news club that I do at home. You know, and I like to have fun. Don't take that out. And I'm going into the Bible setting. You know, when God wants to bless you, He will bless you through Himself. He will bless you through someone. He will bless you through yourself. And He will bless you through your enemies. So you need to identify all these things. Brand yourself properly. Don't get swayed by all that you see online, but learn from it. And then sit down and strategize. Draw the plan. Where do I see myself in 5 years? If 5 years is too far, take it short. In the next year, what do I want to do? I'm here, I'm doing communications. So, okay, how are my grades? Last time, how did I do? What do I want to better? You know, take small baby steps. It's not bad, it's success. Never think your baby steps are nothing. When I was on campus, when I was in SS, I was a shako, like they say in my time, and I like to study. So when I got to uni, I wanted to chill small, and like, you know, level 100, you know, that's no scoring, right? So, Charlie, I over chilled. And I remember one of my mates saw me and was like, hey, lady, what are you doing here? And I think that was the wake-up call for me because you never see me there at parties and stuff, but I wanted to chill. Okay,
Right.
I wanted to get a feel of it, like, what is this thing about? And it was nice. But I got a wake-up call. I readjusted, and I went back to my course. Okay, so you need to experience life. Don't let the stress and toxicity of social media get to you. The good, the bad, the ugly is around. It's brought us closer to a lot of things. But you need to find yourself in all the noise and know what your projections are.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome job. Now, let's take it a notch higher. Now, given that we are all females, right, and we are talking about feminine success, so here is a lecturer in an industry where it's male-dominated. Here is somebody who works in the public sector, where usually it's a male that is a director. And here's a CEO who is a female, but ideally in our world as Ghanaians, you see more males being CEOs. How did you break the roof? how did you surmount your challenges? Mrs. Addison.
All right. Thank you very much. A very, really complex question indeed, but we will get there. Growing up, like I told you, I'm the only girl among 7 males. So it was tough. So that's why I started my leadership. Though they worried me, I think they really strengthened me, the boys. So that's where I got my leadership from. And I used to sell, my mom would give me things to carry on my head, go and sell, go and come. And then when I started work, also, I was doing something by the sideline as well. So coming to your question, how did I find myself there? It's doing so many little things, silent little things, like my sister said, one at a time. Yeah, I remember even at a time I was just growing vegetables when things were very hard. I had to stop corporate work, come and stay at home. I was a secretary, so I had to come and stay at home, look after children, 4 children at that time. And it all strengthened me. You say that it wasn't anything, but all along it was building you in one way or the other. Yeah, so I stayed at home, a stay-at-home mom, but then growing these vegetables, selling them at the side, doing everything. Tell me, what haven't I sold in this world? I don't know, maybe it's computers or laptops or, what in the digital world now. But I have sold everything, charcoal, everything. I've sold some before. So I think all those things strengthened me. And so now where I am, it's a lot of work. I enjoy changing people's life. I enjoy going into people's homes and, helping them with their nutritional needs, which was my childhood passion. And apart from that, going into the digital stuff as well, I didn't grow up, but you have to catch up with it one way or the other. So even in what I do now, we've gone virtual, especially the COVID, what it brought to us. So you can stay in Ghana, but you'll be doing work in outside Ghana. So what I can say is that it's one step at a time. Yeah, and then it builds you up. You shouldn't be lazy. You have to be resilient. These days, sometimes something small, you say, oh, I'm giving up. Oh, marriage, you experience some small, I'm giving up. You go into work, your boss worries you a little, I'm giving up. But just staying resilient to what you do will take you up there. And I also thank God for an amazing spouse. My husband is also very amazing. He edges me on. Sometimes I find myself as timid, I can't do it, but he also pushes me on. So you have to be very careful whoever you marry. It's very important.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one as well.
Lady Rita, very, very briefly, you are in a state where public service, right? And, sometimes they feel like, as young people say now, we say, well, Nepo baby, isn't it? So how did you push against the men saying that you're not good enough, you're not supposed to be here, it's not your turn? How did you push through that?
Thank you. I don't know how I did it, but God did it.
Yes.
God did it.
God did it.
Because in my space, in the comm space, everybody is good. Everybody has their strength. But you need to believe in yourself and, like I said earlier, not listen to the noise.
It's true.
And don't look down on people, because in the comm space, you need each other to grow. And everybody's work is intertwined. So I work with the graphics team, I work with the IT team. And so you see me as a very friendly person. I need to get models to shoot. So I see you, I smile, and I'm like, you're so handsome. You're so beautiful. Would you like to take a shot for me? And my boss sees me as like, "Oh, what bottom?" Like we have that relationship. Like it's when I'm now also I'm saying, "Madam, right?" So then when we were just 17, having 17 followers on Facebook, and I was challenged to take up that space, it was tough. I wouldn't say that, oh, it was a walk in the park. No, it wasn't. It was tough because everybody was looking at you, wanting you to do it. And the team was resilient. The team was ready to work. There were days that we were working as late as 2 a.m. And I had people on TikTok, no, we weren't TikTok then, X, telling us, then Twitter, hey, Snit, won't you sleep? Because we had a goal and we had to achieve it. And you don't need to think about yourself. Look, com students, please note this. We are Sherpas. I don't know if you know who a Sherpa is. So write it down and look it up, a Sherpa. What we do is that most often you don't get the glory. It's for the CEO. Okay, we are working for the CEO. So your work adds up to his growth and his success story. Don't think that when he goes out, he's going to call your name or anything. But you know what you're doing. And little by little, your name becomes known in the boardrooms. So I sit behind the computer all the time. I don't go out for events. My colleagues are out, but everybody knows that Lady Rita is the digital comms manager in SNET. People see you and like, oh, you're the Lady Rita. Wow, you're doing so great. And that is comfort for me. I'm not waiting for my name to be called in that presentation or whatever. It will not happen. And you need to be happy for yourself and celebrate your successes if no one else is doing it for you. But one thing I want you to know is when you are bitter, when you are jealous, you will not grow. So stop looking at your neighbor and thinking that, hey, this person is doing that. Don't copy anybody. What is my purpose? We've been saying that here. What is your purpose? Do you know your purpose? If you don't, please get on your knees and start praying for it. Ask for direction from the man up there. And it's already buried in there, you know, like gold. It's buried in there. It needs to be washed. You need to bring it out and go through the refined process. So like I'm saying again, like I said before, it is not a straightforward thing, or it's not going to happen just like that. It is going to take time, and you need to nurture yourself. If you've seen somebody in that field that you are interested in, walk to the person and tell the person, I admire you so much. I want to be like you. Can you please mentor me? There's nothing wrong with it. Young people of today don't like that. You just want to watch us on TV and say, oh, I know this. You don't know me. I don't know you. Please. And make effort, okay? Don't be shy. Sometimes, yes, we might throw you off, but be persistent. Consistency is always the key.
Okay.
So thank you.
Consistency is always the key. Dr. Andokoenu, what about you? You know, in the academic space, there are so many men, and fortunately or unfortunately for women, we have to birth babies, so you go in and out, and sometimes maybe the men are feeling like, I'm better than you, we have more male professors and all that. How do you navigate some of these stresses?
Thank you very much. I would say that success is not a competition like the way Dr. Shina was saying. It is also not a one-stop journey that I have made it so this is my destination. It is a journey. So wherever you find yourself, in Africa, most professions can be dominated by males. Even in business, you will see that our mother is a CEO, but business owners are more of maybe males. Are you getting it? But the thing is, you have to focus. And like they have all said, you have to be resilient and courageous. So there are times that you feel like giving up. For instance, if you're in academia and you have to jump from your MPhil and go to the PhD level, it can be very challenging and stressful. If you have to manage home, manage church roles, manage a whole lot of things, and sometimes it's like you don't even sleep because you want to achieve something. And in the night, you have to be working. And you still have to go to the market. You still have to do your domestic roles. But one thing I do always is that if you're a male and there's something in you or you know that I want to learn, I'll come to you for you to teach me and to support me. If I see that you are very good in this skill, I'll come to you. Support me to do this. Help me to do this. I remember when I had to do my data analysis, they said I should add some SME, SEM to it. I didn't know anything about it. I had a colleague in Gimpa who was also a lecturer. I just called him. He said, oh, come and let us do it. And I was very happy. So if you are not teachable, there are some things you may never be able to learn. And if you are the type that gives up easily, there are paths you cannot achieve. You have to learn to focus and be resilient, even though when the going is tough, it's not going. You are trying to go, but it's not going. But try and go. My husband will always say that even if you crawl, you'll get there one day. So keep going. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Now, you mentioned studying from males or learning or gleaning from males. Now, let's talk about that a bit. You know, in Ghana, we have the Affirmative Action Bill. And so in Parliament, we expected that, or in public service, we expected that a certain percentage are women. Now, when you go to our universities, we have a certain percentage, or the cutoff point is lowered for females. Now, how can our brothers, how can our fathers, how can our uncles help us to achieve what we want to achieve, urging us on, and not only making us feel like we just need to be babied? How should they push us towards our success? Yeah, Rita, maybe we should go first.
Okay, so like my sister rightly mentioned, you need to be humble and you need to ask for help when you need help. When I'm currently in a leadership program and I'm the oldest in the group, we are 20. And just in our last session with our mentor, he said, Lady Rita has a lot of problems. She tells me some, but she's always smiling. And so you guys need to learn from her. It's tough out there. The world is tough, right? And you need to always count your blessings. Spirit of gratitude is very important. So just like you are saying, once I've been able to get into the university and I've been given the opportunity, it means that I can do it. You need to always speak positive affirmations for yourself. So I tell my kids every day, I text them, have you written it down? What do you want? Cecil says, I want to be a footballer. I don't have a problem with it. I know a lot of Ghanaian parents have a problem with it. But my dad was a legend in football. So, like I said, I come from a very open-minded family. And so I don't have a problem I don't look down on any profession whatsoever. But one thing my dad used to say always was, he's late now, you need to empower yourself. So what is your power? Again, what do you have? Because if you're a footballer and you can't sign your contract, what happens? Right? So education is important. And you can't dodge it, okay? It will follow you every step of the way. And so the earlier you decide to take it, the earlier you decide to seek help from your colleague, male, the better. When I was on campus, my friends were all guys because they like learning. Okay, so when you go and chill and come, they'll come, lady, let's go. We are going to Great Hall. Charlie, that place is big. When the air passes on your head, you want to sleep. But they are there encouraging you to learn. And all my friends are first class students. They are all not here. Like they are making it out there. So I'm not jealous of them. They encourage me to also be better, because if you are working with all these smart heads and then you are T-bones, Charlie, it's a problem, right? So again, it's your purpose. What do you want? I want to see with myself with them. And again, what success we've been made to understand is doing something that you love and all that. So they are doing the things they love. I can do the things I love and also be proud of it and also be excelling it. It's the excellence for me that counts. So how do I get to the excellence? It's me associating myself with someone who is better than me in that same field and who will help me and drive me to my success area. Thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Addison, you spoke about having a supporting or a supportive spouse, okay, who happens to be male, of course. And here today we have a lot of males. How do you think they can help their sisters, their mothers, their nieces? How can they help them achieve their success?
Thank you very much for that question. One thing I can say is that, let me just share a little story about my dad, being a male. When I was in school, there were 72 of us in class. And at one time, I came out of 72, I came 68. Out of 72, I came 68. So when the results came, and then my dad was, the way he spoke, and my mom rather was a bit, sister, don't mind him, you'll be okay. But my dad was very stern. And the following time I went to school, and then at the sound of the bell, those days, I don't know how it is these days now, but the bell goes and, silence time over. Before the bell goes, my towel, everything will be there, and then I'll be the first in the bathroom. As soon as I finish, in less than 15 minutes time, I'm off to go and study. I'll find myself, and I studied hard. The next term came, I came 23. Yeah. Now my dad, he didn't even congratulate me. He said, you still have to go further. So I went further, and then it came again, and then I came 13. So, and then I had a bursary. Bursary, you get something like scholarship. So I was now paying less fees. So with that idea, and how my dad pushed me. In marriage also, my husband, was always pushing me. You can do it. Dal, you can do it. And by God's grace, I got there. So in the work that I do now, outside, it's men who are really dominated. It's only in Ghana that female are dominated in that area. So I got it from when I was young. So when you are young and you are being encouraged that, keep going. So guys here as well, they can keep encouraging their younger sisters or big sisters. Me, I still go for encouragement. I still love it when people encourage me, telling me that, you can do this better. I'm not past learning, despite my age or everything. I learn from young people. Yeah, I learn from young men as well. I have some in my home, and they teach me certain things that I don't know, and they keep on teaching me. So young people, be kind to everyone. Don't be too tough. Don't be too, don't think you know it all. Yeah, so just be kind to each other. But like I've said, the work that I do, it's only in Ghana that we are female dominated, but outside there it's male dominated, and they encourage us. When we go for meetings, especially virtual meetings, they encourage us. Look, you guys are doing well. So men, just keep encouraging, and it will help you build a better home as well with your future wives. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Now, for the longest of this discussion, we'll be talking about purpose. Now, I have the inkling that probably the three of you had a purpose and you had a focus. But it's likely that there's a young person in this audience who, as at now, doesn't know what to do, doesn't necessarily have a plan or any career ambition, not because they don't want to become anything, but they've just not been able to come to that place. To that young person, is it okay, is it normal for me to be like that? If it is so, how do I get to that place of wanting to be purposeful or having a vision board that I can work towards? Mrs. Andokwenu.
Thank you very much. I want to comment on the previous question before I come to this. If you are a male here, I think that one of the things you have to do most to the females around you is to provide social support and emotional support by encouraging them. Females are easily discouraged. and there's a lot of high level of fear. So like Mama was saying, it's like you have to get pushed. But if you're a female here, I also want to tell you to encourage yourself. Be confident. Step in the hot water when it is even hot and you will not die. I always say that hard work doesn't kill. It only strengthens you. So work hard. Okay, so come back to the current question. How do you know your purpose? How do you navigate? I would say that God has given us several ways of knowing what he wants us to do. Just that we are somehow naive, or sometimes we are not conscious of it. But the truth of the matter is God has given you a lot of skills, gifts, that your purpose is within those things. Sometimes God takes you through certain challenges, knowing that you have to become somebody in that area. For instance, when I was growing up, at teenage, I had real challenges. My mom was not here. I lost my dad. My auntie I was staying also left us and traveled. So I had to really navigate my way as a teenager. Right through JHS, I was by myself. I had to sell during vacations and do all kinds of things. I remember there was a time I went to take my panties to sell. And when I saw the panties, after everything, I saw that the money is not adding up. And I knew that I was in trouble. So I had to run away and go to my uncle to go and look for money to come and top up. But I realized, growing up, I realized that God was teaching me how to come and support young people. Are you getting it? So it was something that God was taking me through. And then there are things that God lays on our hearts. You may not be really spiritual or prayerfully seeking for but God lays things on your hearts every day. And those things should not be ignored. Because there are things that God lays on our hearts is directing our path. It's just trying to tell you this. Sometimes too, you're attending a meeting like this, and the things that are coming, you see that it's talking to your heart. You will have to take that also serious. Sometimes you meet people, and what they are sharing with you, it's really touching your heart. It's directing you somewhere. Sometimes you'll be listening to a TV or a media something, and it's also communicating. So everything that you are actually encountering, the exposure you are getting is actually all guiding to career, guiding to what you should do, purpose. Are you getting it? Don't ignore it. If you are really paying attention and conscious about your interactions and your exposure to information and everything, you will see that some will hit your heart. And those things are guideposts to tell you that this is where God is actually directing you. So we have to be conscious about monitoring the guidance the Holy Spirit is giving us, or God is giving us. Thank you.
So follow the things that make you happy. But maybe this we are almost getting to the close of the session. But I would want to know, most of you, or the three of you, are in structured settings. Okay, you belong to companies. So what about the young person who says, maybe I want to be a farmer. I want to have a food stall. Maybe I probably want to sell in Makola. I want to have a big shop and sell in Makola. Does it mean that that person is not successful? Does the person always have to be in a structured space as you are? Hello, Lady Rita.
The answer is a big no. In fact, the people on the market are the richest ones. They have all the money. I have a lot of friends that are entrepreneurs. Karen Kane is one. I have one, Amaki. She's a farmer. You should see the car Amaki drives. You should see her house. You should see the money that she has. And she determines when she wants to travel, where she wants to travel, and all those things. We in structured systems, even your leave, you need to beg for it, okay? I have 30 days. But if I want to use my leave, I need to seek permission to use it. It's not cast in stone that you take it, the leave, and you go. There are days that sometimes you have to write and explain why you are taking your leave at a certain time. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have all the liberties in the world to do what you have to do at your own time and pace. That's beautiful. But being an entrepreneur means that you need to be very disciplined. So if you don't have discipline, your business will collapse. And one thing that Jack Ma is always saying that humble beginnings. You might try something, it will not work. It doesn't mean that it is not for you. Now, you are better than the person that's starting out because you have learned certain lessons in the collapse that happened. Okay. And so, for me, I wish I was an entrepreneur. And I said I have parents that are very open-minded. But when mommy was talking, I remember one time I said I wanted to be a seamstress. My dad said, school no tene. Okay. And school it means that all the plenty school you've gone to, you are going to learn what? And it was on my heart because I like to draw. I like to do a lot of things. And I went to sign up, but he intentionally signed me up for computer, so I had to go to NIT, so I couldn't make it for that class. But it's still there. I still do small sewing for the kids when they bring their homework home. That's just by the way. But what, again, is still about purpose, okay? And then what makes you happy? Being an entrepreneur is a big thing, and I salute all the entrepreneurs here. When I was on campus, I tried to sell bed sheets, going around to collect your money back. It's not a joke. Some people, someone actually looked at my friends and asked, I'm like, hey, I didn't know you purchased the thing, you need to pay. And it's very difficult. I sold credit when I was on campus. And sometimes, again, discipline. I ended up using half of it. So the money, I went to take loan from my father. Now I said, Daddy, I was now giving him stories about how the money had been used up. So you need to have discipline. And you need to have foresight. Again, you need to have a plan. Where am I going? What do I want? So Amaki started small. She said one day she woke up and said, I have a land here. Let me develop it into farming. She started with pepper. Then she's doing poultry farming. And I tell you, Charlie, she comes, she'll do sales on the eggs sometimes. Then sometimes the price will go up and all that. I say, lady, they feed. We are not there. You don't know. But the money that they are making. Another person is Karen Kane. I'm sure you guys follow her on Instagram. Karen Cash Kane. She has a boutique. She was in formal sector before. And she left. And she started doing car sales. And now she has boutiques in Osu. She's now doing tours and doing sales here and there, traveling the world and very happy. You look at this thing and say, oh, it's easy. Me too, I can sell. Charlie, it is not easy. Okay, it's pushing, sleepless nights. Somebody owes you. You wake up at dawn. My grandma, she had a small stool. Then she will go and sit at the person's gate. When the person is about to leave the house, she jumps and goes and stand in front of the car and say, today you pay me my money. She was a caterer, by the way. So when you hear all those stories, that's the challenge that comes with being an entrepreneur. Encourage yourself. Like I said, listen, today, the success stories are not far from us thanks to technology, thanks to YouTube. So you can decide to listen to Elon Musk, you can decide to listen to whoever you think is in your profession. But one thing you need to know is finding the balance. Balancing all these things, like my mommy and my sister was saying, family, your life, personal life and all those things. It's not easy at all. And if you look at most of the success stories, one is deficit. So it's up to you. When you want to find a balance, you might not really make it to the ceiling that you want. But every success, you have to celebrate it. And every entrepreneur is important. So let's give a round of applause to all the entrepreneurs in the house.
To our final question, what then would be your encouragement to a female, a younger person who is looking or is aspiring to be something, aspiring to be the best tomato seller, the best wache seller, the best lecturer, the best anything, the best doctor, the best nurse. What then is your last word for them, Mrs. Addison?
Thank you very much once again, and thank you, my dear sisters, as well. What I can say is that the Word of God tells us that whatever your hand finds you to do, do it. So do everything with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your mind, and with all your heart, and whatever you do, do it as if you are doing it for the Lord.